And just like that, we are back with another edition of Talk Your Exposure. But Devo, I know this weekend is going to be special too, because you're right now the topic of a lot of banter that's been posted on Talk Your Exposure, talk between Tobin, you know what I'm saying? You're definitely the topic of that, because this weekend is the second annual Who Wants to Smoke tournament. Talk about how you're feeling, man.
Like I said last time, I'm feeling dubs. I see a lot of roster changes. We sticking to our bodies. We're going to try and get it done. Simple as that.
We wish we had our guest with us today to be able to play in that tournament, you know, because obviously he is a Division I basketball player, you know, someone that works really hard, and I've watched him on throughout this past season at Marquette. We have Koby McEwen in the building. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing?
Hey, man, we're alive. Can't complain. Happy to have you on the show. Hey, Koby, I want to ask you, man, talk to us about your upbringing.
Just grew up. So I grew up around the Steels area, so like a little bit north. Steels and Kipling, I believe. And then I grew up there. I was always outside hooping from the age since I was like 3. And then I moved to Parkdale probably when I was around 6 years old. And then since then, I just been hooping around the hood with my friends. Always playing basketball every day. I always hung around guys that were like 4 years older than me. Played against guys like that around the neighborhood. And then, you know, I just started taking basketball serious around like the 5th grade. And ever since then, it just took off for me.
So you mentioned that you've been playing basketball since you were 3 years old, you know, since you were a little kid. But I want to ask you though, where did basketball and sports in particular, like where did that come from in your family? Do you have, you know, people that played the sport, you know, of any type of figures in your family that has played? Where did that come from for you?
Yeah, my older brother played. My older sister played. My older sister was the one that introduced me to the game. She was pretty good. But they all played. I'm just the only one that like got the opportunity to, you know, take it to a level that no one in my family has ever been before.
That's great. So. That's great to be able to hear. It's great to be able to hear. I do want to ask you real quick off script for 1 second. Graduating and stuff like that. You graduated this past year, correct?
Yes, sir.
How important was that for you to be able to finally be able to say, you know, a student athlete, but be able to put the athlete before student before athlete?
It was big for me. Just having that paper, you know, because it means a lot when you go out in the society. You know, when you're done playing sports, you know, people look at that stuff. And, you know, I want to be able to make a living for myself, you know, when I'm done playing basketball. So then that was important for me. And it was important for my dad, too, and my mom, because, you know, they're really high on school. And just me, like, getting my degree and stuff, that's all they really talk about. And then basketball was always secondary to them. So, you know, it was just really important for me and my family, just for me to be able to achieve something like that, you know? So.
Oh, most definitely. Not many people, not many athletes can say that they have a diploma or a degree next to their name. So shout out to you on that. But I want to ask you though, if you weren't playing basketball right now, what would you be doing?
Yo, that's a crazy question. Because if it wasn't for basketball, I'd probably be running around I'll be like a roadman or something. I don't know.
He's honest.
I don't know.
Honest answer.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's what I grew up around. That's all I knew. So I have no idea, man. That's crazy. But I feel like basketball was my way out for real.
Yeah, and that's the case with a lot of guys. But you said that's a harder question. I got some tougher questions for you right here, Koby. Usually we play overrated, underrated. We are going to switch it up today, and we're gonna play Would You Rather Sports Edition. So we'll start you off nice and simple. I hope. Would you rather win the World Series or the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, for sure.
Okay, me too. Now, if you were a coach, Koby, let's put you in this scenario. Would you rather be the coach that wears the suit or the coach that wears the polos?
Polos. Okay. I'm straight polos.
I'm a polo guy too, you know. Gotta be where I'm probably gonna be one of those. I try to stay relaxed, but I'll probably be one of those coaches that are very energetic at that level.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, you're probably gonna paint the scenario here, but would you rather get paid a lot to be on a bad team or paid below average to be on an elite team?
On what level?
Say that again?
On what level?
NBA.
Mm.
At this time you're getting paid. So I'll repeat it. Would you rather get paid a lot to be on a bad team or paid below average to be on an elite team? You can paint the scenario. There's some guys in the NBA, I won't say it on camera, that definitely fits the description.
What point in my career?
I see why he asked that. Let's say
he's thinking today, Devontae. He's thinking today.
He's thinking today, so it'll be interesting the further we go down in the show. But we'll say you just finished your rookie contract, so you finished your 4 years.
Oh, 4
Pivotal
years.
Time in the NBA.
I'm going to play for an elite team.
Okay, and get paid less.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just work my way up and get paid more.
Okay. Now, with that being said, would you rather peak early or late in your career?
Later.
Okay. And
Yeah.
one last funky question. If this scenario was in place, would you rather play in the snow or would you rather play in the rain?
The snow.
The snow.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna ask why. We're gonna continue with the show. We're gonna continue with the show because I don't know how that's even possible. But anyways, Steven, do me the honor showing us the audience with your shirt, what you got on today.
You already know, Toon Squad, Team Toon Squad, man. Bugs Bunny's on the back. I'm not gonna show that, but Bugs Bunny's on the back.
Bugs Bunny on the back. Now, Space Jam is coming out today. Are you guys gonna watch it? And they say the sequels are worse than the originals, Kobe. What are your thoughts on that statement?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna live up to Michael Jordan, and that's just a classic, man. You can't just go ahead and just redo it. But I feel like it shouldn't be a sequel. It should just be like a little spin-off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think it should be. How do I explain it? Like it shouldn't continue out the movie. It shouldn't continue off the first movie.
Okay.
LeBron should just do his own thing.
So more of like a continuation, not a repeat.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I catch your drift. Now,
not a repeat, not a continuation either. Just a different thing.
Okay. I mean, from the previews, it does look kind of different, but we'll have to see it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, which Space Jam character would you want to be if you were offered the role?
LeBron.
You'd be like, oh, so you're main character. You need the most props, you need the most money.
Of course.
Okay.
That's where the money's at.
With more money means more lines. Can you handle that?
More money means more what?
More lines, more script.
Oh yeah, I can handle that.
Okay, fair enough. Now, since we're on the topic, and you kind of mentioned it already, who do you think will be better, LeBron or Michael? You know, and in your words of Michael, is it his fault? Like you're talking about before, how Michael, he was the original. LeBron's here. Do you think LeBron will be a better actor? What's your feel on that?
If people don't compare him to Michael, then I feel like he'll be a pretty good actor. Like I feel like if people get the idea out of their head that, like, get Michael Jordan out of their head and just watch LeBron, I think he'll be a good actor. He has a good personality.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way.
Great way to put it. Hey, Kobe, I want to turn over to some basketball right now. Obviously, recently, the NCAA announced that athletes are able to open themselves up to receive business deals. You being a 5-year NCAA player, or going to your 5th year, I should say, what are your thoughts on this new opportunity for student athletes?
It's amazing. It's about time. It's long overdue. But, with the opportunity that we're given now, I think we should just make the most of it and just be smart with it. Don't try to go too crazy on your money. Just be smart with your money. Make sure you know what you're doing with it. Make sure you're reading the contracts and stuff. You're getting people to read it over for you. Stuff like that. But other than that, I think it's a big step. It's going in the right step in the right direction for NCAA athletes for sure.
For sure, for sure. And I actually saw that you posted on your Instagram that you're open up to business ideas and any type of sponsorships or contracts and stuff like that. What exactly, if you don't mind, what are you looking for in particular?
I honestly, I don't know if I'm looking for anything. I just think that I wanted to let it come to me. And anything that will pique my interest, I would definitely do it. Or anything that's new, and can kind of challenge me as a person. I'm open to doing that as well. But there's a rule for like international students right now, because the NCAA approved it, but I think it's a federal law that we're not allowed to like receive any type of money right now. Whoa. Like international students. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's what my coaches told me. So he's like, don't sign no deals as of right now because you can get deported.
Wow.
I like that coach. At least he's looking out. At least
So I think that's what they told me. I think they're trying to figure it out because everything just happened so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know what? One thing I want to ask Devontae, you know, obviously you being a former Division I basketball player, now with the information that we just got right now from Koby, what are your thoughts on just this whole business thing on a Division I level in particular?
Man, I'm hot. I'm sick. What? I think anybody born in 96, 95, 94 kind of sick right now just because there's some players still born in 96, 95, 94 that are still in the NCAA that get to reap from these benefits. So to see it happen, you know, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, you are happy. You're happy for your guys. You're happy for your team. You're happy for whatever former team you're on, or just the players in general. Use it to your advantage, man. This could change your whole life. Kids, I'm telling you right now, my kids playing basketball. Where's my basketball at? I don't know where it is. But the moment they come out the womb, here you go. Because if we're doing this now, people will play high school, take high school seriously. They'll play college, get the scholarship. As much as we use it for our education, now we're seeing guys getting $2 million. We're flirting with those numbers. There's no reason a couple of years from now that money continues to go up. So my kids, when you see us one day, you're playing basketball. You don't have a choice.
Hey, and it's crazy too that you got to even talk about, you know, just the opportunities in general, because even Styles P son, I don't know his name, but he's got a $2 million contract. What? The day of. It was crazy when I saw that. So Koby, I hope that you're able to get a $2 million contract from whoever wants to come sponsor you and come your way. You feel what I'm saying? Now this question is for both you guys. You know, if a female paid you to spend the day with you guys and to prevent you from going to practice, and obviously whatever money they're giving you that.
Right. What's going on here? What's going on?
I'll give you the in-depth thing. So I had a friend the other day who told me that a guy paid her to get off or to not go to work. He brought her on a yacht, took care of her, whatever, paid her for the money she was going to lose for that day of work. She said, I'll give you whatever the money was that you're going to lose your day of work to come spend the day with me, pretty much.
Apparently, basketball? He played D1? Or just general?
He's a pro football player. He's a pro football player, according to the girl. Pro football player, right? So now I'm kind of asking you guys the same scenario. If you guys were in the same scenario where you guys are now being paid to be able to, and I don't mean to put that in quotes in a negative way, but just paid as a college athlete or a professional basketball player or whatever, would you guys take that opportunity to say, you know what, I could miss a day of practice?
Nope.
Koby said no. Listen, if I'm in college, no. But if I'm pro, we'll think about it. Depends on if it's my dream female. Koby still said no.
No. I don't care who it is. No. No way.
So I know you say you don't care who it is. Beyonce, Ashanti.
No.
Nobody in the world.
No, none of those popular. No.
All right, fine. Fair enough. Koby, I want to ask you though, you know, obviously you've been a part of transferring 2 times in your collegiate career. You know, there's a ton of negative thoughts behind transferring, and people that when you say the transfer, oh, you can't stay at one school, you're not doing it correctly, you want to get out earlier, you want to try something new. Now, with the transfer portal, being a transfer and going through all that, why are players transferring, and what were your reasoning for transferring?
So I transferred at first from Utah State because So the person that was recruiting me, Lewis Wilson, was like 90% of the reason why I went there. And after my sophomore year, the coaching staff got fired, right?
Mm.
So 90% of my why of being at that school is gone. And then a new coaching staff obviously comes in, and that I don't know very well, and that I feel like now is my time to look for an opportunity to do something else. So I get recruited by a bunch of schools. I ended up transfer portal at that point. I ended up choosing Marquette. And then I do my 3 years at Marquette, and obviously COVID happened and whatever. I did my redshirt year there as well, and then with the whole rule of us getting our year back, I just decided to move on from Marquette as well, just because it's my last year, and I was just looking for different things that I felt like somewhere else can offer me a better opportunity to do that, if that makes sense. So those are my reasons for transferring. It's all situational based. It's never like I'm having a hard time, let me get out of here, or it just depends on your situation, and if you have coaching staffs that leave, and a lot of the times that you're at these schools, you're with people who you trust, because at the beginning you don't know any of these people. And it's hard for me, a person like me, to just trust people like that. So those are my reasons for transferring. And then a lot of players probably just transfer just because they're looking for better opportunities to showcase their talent. Because everyone has one end goal, and that's they want to be a professional. Whether it's the NBA, Europe, they want to make money playing basketball. Most of these players in the NCAA, So I think people are doing that to find their best opportunity to be able to make money. So that's my opinion on it.
You put it in his own hands. I like that.
Yeah.
Now let's rewind a little bit. You started your university career at Utah State, where you stayed there for 2 years. Can you tell us some of the schools that recruited you, the other schools that recruited you before you made that decision at Utah State?
Oh,
I know we going way back.
I had Ole Miss, Baylor, Wake Forest, Texas Tech, Utah State. Then I had some mid-majors like Valparaiso, Middle Tennessee. I think that's it. Like
Good list right there.
Those are like the main ones that like I remember. So
you north, south, east, and west. Okay, you have all of America to choose from. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, those being your freshman and sophomore years, what was your NCAA moment? I'm here now. I love this. Okay, we're here.
Wow. I would say our home game at Utah State against New Mexico. I had 31, 13, 6, and 3.
Damn.
What was the 3 steals?
3 steals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13 assists or 13 rebounds?
13 rebounds.
Jesus Christ. Good for you.
Yeah. That was my like, all right.
So I could do this. I'm here. I'm solidified. I'm stamped.
Yeah.
That's what you mean?
Here. Yeah.
Okay.
That was my moment for sure.
Now, with that being said, how did it feel to play as much as a freshman? I know that must have been an incredible experience, but can you explain that to us? What were you going through?
A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Being a freshman, not knowing anything, but just I think what just had me play a lot was just my work ethic and my competitive nature. Kind of my skill caught up to it, if that makes sense. So like, I was always competitive. I was always, wanting to win, but then my skills started to catch up to it. And then, I started understanding the offense. And then from the first game that we played, I think it was an exhibition game against some D2 school. I can't remember. I wasn't starting, but I ended up the game. I went perfect from the field, had like 17 points, and ever since then, like I just was starting. And then from
That's
there,
how it goes.
yeah, and from there, like it just played out that way. But yeah, I think it was just a lot of my hard work and my skills starting to catch up with, some of the intangibles that I had. So.
No, that's fair. Let's name them for the people that don't know. Mountain West Freshman of the Year in 2017, Mountain West All Conference third year 2017-2018, and ABC All District Second Team 2018. Do those awards mean anything to you?
The Freshman of the Year, yeah, but other awards, no, just because I didn't really win anything with them. You know what I mean? Like I was just a good player. I was not winning any. I was winning anything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, I think just with the person I am, like I'd rather win and then have that come, and then just be a good player and receive those things and never win a championship, never play in the NCAA tournament. I don't want to be known as that guy.
Fair enough.
That's
Fair
fair.
enough.
Yeah.
That's definitely fair. In 2019, you obviously transferred to a school that actually did get to go to the tournament the year before that. I'm sure you transferred. You got to experience that during your redshirt year, I should say. But in 2019, you actually got to put on that jersey for the first time, knowing that there's been a lot of NBA players that played at Marquette as well. You go to Marquette. You put that jersey on. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot because, like you just said, like a lot of great players, a lot of great people came before me that wore the jersey, that are playing, that have like big roles in some of the best leagues in the world. Some of these guys are legends. So just to be able to put on the same jersey, it was pretty cool, just to be able to experience that and play in the Pfizer Forum and everything and be in the arena. It's crazy. It's a crazy feeling. But it meant a lot. It's just a testament to hard work and everything, just staying with it,
Sure.
It's funny or interesting, ironic, whatever you want to call it, that you went to Marquette, because there's actually a player that went to Marquette that you play a lot of like, if I'm not gonna lie to you. In my opinion, I think you play a lot like Dwayne Wade, and Dwayne Wade being a former guy at Marquette, did you ever get a chance to meet Dwayne Wade? And what was it like knowing that you kind of play like this guy? You look at the Raptors, you see his name retired, or see his jersey retired, and now you're about to go to that same school.
I met him, yes. It was a really dope experience. He came back for he had like a Dwayne Wade night at Marquette at I think one of our home games. And he came, it was him, Gabriel Union, and his son, I think his name is Zaire.
Sorry to cut you off, but if Gabriel Union paid me to spend the day with her, sorry, Dwayne, I'm definitely
Are you serious?
Gabriel Union is fire.
You know what? We're not gonna speak on Gabrielle Union. We gonna let her be.
We're not gonna talk. I ain't gonna talk. I'm
no, we don't say nothing.
Nah, but they were there. It was pretty cool. And then we got after we won the game. Did we win that game? I'm pretty sure we won that game because everyone was in a good mood. We took pictures and stuff. I didn't really ask him anything because I honestly didn't know what to ask him. Like I didn't want it to be like, how is it playing in the NBA? Well, I already knew that because I have like a bunch of friends that play in the NBA, right? So it's just like I didn't know what to ask him. But I feel like in a different setting, I'd probably have more questions. But it was pretty cool meeting him. Took a picture. But that moment was pretty cool just because, we got to share a moment with him at the school that he be, where I guess it all started for him because he was never really highly recruited in high school and stuff. So I think it was pretty cool to just share that moment with him.
Now, thinking about it right now, if you were able to have, gather your thoughts and put together at least one question for Dwayne Wade, what is the one question you would ask Dwayne Wade if you had a moment to think about it?
I would probably ask him, how did you peak so early in the league? Like I would probably ask him what was your everyday routine, your diet, like the amount of shots you made, or like stuff like that. Like
A good
because
question.
in his third year he was killing the league. Like he won a championship, everything. So like I'll ask him that, like, yo, how did you peak so quickly? He adjusted so quickly.
You're right. Like 3 years or something. They called him Flash. He won an NBA championship. You're 100% right about that. But speaking of somebody that comes in and contributed so quickly, that was you when you were with Marquette. You've had some very big games when you were with Marquette in the 2 years that you were there. What was it that made you feel so comfortable?
That's a good question. I think just like my teammates and the good people that Marquette had. Marquette has like amazing people. Like there's like coaching staff, academic advisors, support staff, trainers, strength and conditioning, teammates. Like everyone's like, I don't know, the environment there is real different. Like everyone's a really, really good person and they take pride in that. So it just makes you, feel comfortable being able to just be around such good people. So I think that's what really made it good for me.
Well, fair enough. That's completely fair. Obviously, we're about to get into your career at Weber State. Yeah, you transferred to Weber State. But what are you going to miss most about Marquette?
Playing in that, we didn't play in it. Like we didn't have fans last year, but when there's fans, that arena is crazy.
It looks mud.
Yeah, so playing in there and the gear for sure.
Oh yeah,
the gear was insane. So those two for sure.
Speaking of transferring, talk about the transfer portal. Do you think it's effective or positive for the athletes or harmful to coaches or players? What's your concept on the transfer portal?
If you're doing it because you have a better opportunity ahead, then obviously you should do that. If you're doing it, I don't know, because I can't speak on anyone's reasons. I can only speak for myself. And for me, I think it's a great thing. For someone else and their reasons, I can never judge that because I haven't walked in their shoes. So I feel like to have an opinion on that would be kind of just not my place. But for coaches, like, I don't know. If you have a good culture, if you have a good program, no one's going to want to leave. So establish that. You don't have nothing to worry about.
Fair enough. Now,
let me just intertwine for one second. Sorry to want to, but I want to ask you though, like, how Calipari on Kentucky has a one and done rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself kind of gives us an idea of this transfer portal of how it's going to be this year in particular. Not necessarily speaking about you in general, but just generally though, the idea of a one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's effective for teams to be able to really progress throughout the years? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what more so, I'm curious to know about your opinion on that.
To progress along the years, if you keep getting top level talent, of course. But to win a national championship, I think no, because all the teams that win are old. Like, let's just be honest.
You're right.
How many young teams do you know that won like national championship?
I think the last one was Kentucky in 2013 with Anthony. No, they lost. They didn't win with Anthony Davis, did they?
They did.
No, I don't think they did. Didn't they?
AD won.
They did?
But like
Cat
I'm saying
lost.
that
Cat lost.
like the likelihood of it.
Yeah,
You know
I think that's a great point. Look at this year. Gonzaga versus Baylor. Old
teams. Like they had like Gonzaga had a couple of young guys, but like most of them are like what, Drew Timmy and Suggs were the youngest people, sophomores and freshmen. Everyone else were older guys, like juniors and seniors. Yeah. Like especially during the year in a pandemic where you can't practice as much and you have a bunch of freshmen and they're running around not knowing what, like, how things are supposed to be done. But you have older guys like seniors and stuff. Like that's why it played out like that this year. Like the young teams weren't very good. The old teams, You know, the old teams knew they're kind of just picking off from where they picked off from last year. You know, they're just continuing. A lot of these guys are being high school guys and stuff, and they don't really know.
That's a fact. Now, heading to Weber State, we've seen some of the pictures on your page. You know, we dabble through. That's what social media is for. What are you looking forward to most about this season?
It's crazy. I play a lot of family and friends. Like, I play my uncle. So the guy that recruited me to Utah State, we play them. And then another guy that recruited me so there's two coaches. So one named Lewis Wilson. I think we're gonna have an exhibition against him. He coaches down at UT Tyler. We're gonna have an exhibition against those guys. And then I have another guy named Tarvis Felton, who was an assistant at Utah State, who is now the associate head at Fresno State. We play them too. We play Utah State at home. We play BYU, which is always just a big game for me because that's an in-state game that, like, when I was living in Utah, we never beat BYU. So I have to get BYU, plus my boy who went to University of Milwaukee, that was down there with me at Marquette. He's on that team now. So we play them. Then I got a high school friend that goes to Portland State. We played them twice. So it's gonna be a lot of personal games.
I was about to say that. So these are have to wins. So you're gonna hear about this. Okay.
Yeah.
You better come ready to kill.
I'm talking my shit. I'm doing all that. I don't care about no one's feelings. I'm letting you know I'm here. And I'm gonna make it hurt.
And I like that because you speaking it into existence. With that being said, being at Utah State now, what's the desired position you want to play? Because we know that you can play the 1, 2, 3, depending on the lineup, depending on the other people on the court. What's your desired position for this year?
Playing the 1, just so I'm getting as much reps at it as possible, because that's going to be my position at the next level. So it only makes sense.
Point blank, period. Now, let's break it down a little bit. You know, unfortunately, in the 4 years that you played, you know, you haven't been to the NCAA tournament. Please explain to our viewers how difficult it is to get there.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's not easy. Because first of all, if you don't go to a high major school, you're almost guaranteed not to go, because you have to win your conference tournament. You have to win your conference tournament. You can't just win the regular season. The regular season doesn't mean anything. Like a team from the bottom of that was on the bottom of the league go to the conference tournament and win. And you guys won the regular season. So for schools that have one bid conferences is really tough. And then if you go high major, it's going to be the first 3 to 5 teams in each conference. So if you're on the bottom half of those, unless your conference is like killing it that year, you're not going to make it. And you're playing against high level competition every game. You know what I mean? So making that is, it's tough. It's super tough, but it's going to happen this year. It's going to happen this year.
You've been manifesting this whole time since you've been on this podcast. If anybody else has realized that, he's been doing it this whole time. But you know, Koby, would you change anything about your 4 years that you did at Utah State or Marquette with the stories that you've told us here today?
Nah. Even though, like, you know, you go through some highs and you go through some lows, but I wouldn't change it just because, you know, it was supposed to happen. It was written that way. Me going back and saying I should have did this or should have did that doesn't really serve me. So I think the journey that I've been on, it was meant to happen this way, and it was meant to end where it started.
Amen.
Back in Utah. So
hey, your story at the end of your book, whenever that ends, is going to be a great couple chapters. Aggressive with the work, patient with the results. Now, Koby, we love to end this show with a game called In a Perfect World. I'm excited for this one today. But let me explain to you what we do, how we do it. So I'm going to put you through a scenario, Kobe. You're simply going to fill in the blanks. That's what all you're going to do, right?
Okay.
If you have to pass, let us know since you're in the NCAA right now, but I don't think it'll be anything, right? So anyways, don't mind me and Steven on the phone. We like to bet on this game, and we like to put money on the line. No pressure. No pressure. Whatever you say is whatever you say. So don't mind us on the phone if you see us. So let's bring it back to high school, right? Let's bring it back all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this utopia, you know, you've done everything that you've had to do, right? In terms of playing well, double-digit score. You know, you have all the schools in the world. You can't pick Marquette. You can't pick Utah State. You definitely can't pick Weber. Where is another school that you would go to in this utopia? Give me 1 second.
Wow.
Any school in the country. Gameplay, how you like to play, location, whatever. No, don't even try it. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. Don't even try it.
I'm changing my answer, bro. I'm changing my answer.
Let's say, oh man, that's a crazy question.
I don't know how to answer it either. Well, I know where I'd go, but it took me a while.
UNC.
No.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I would say it's play style. Damn, yo. I'm gonna go. I'm honestly okay. I'm gonna go with Creighton.
Oh,
I can see that.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with Creighton.
I just want to let you know. I said UCLA. The body said Baylor.
Anyways.
Oh yeah, for sure. What am I thinking? I'm not even thinking about those schools. I'm thinking, okay, but I'm still gonna stick with my answer though.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. I really like that guard that they have that's in the draft right now. I think his first name was Rob. His last name is weird. Kurinsky. I don't know. European guy.
You talking about Zagorowski?
Zagorowski. Yeah, I really liked his game and what he did over there. But anyways, let's continue. So you are at Creighton now, right? You're all freshman team. You do what you got to do. Another double-digit score. Of course, Big East. You're seeing on all type of platforms. You're now getting that lottery picks talk, right? We know how it works. You can't pick where you want to be in the lottery, but as you go to these teams and you work out, you can kind of dictate. Oh, I like this facility. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Manifest, right? Exactly. It's a little bit different than everybody else. Manifest. In the lottery, in this utopia. I'll just say something else for the sake of it. Where would you go in the NBA? Give me 1 second here, because I don't want to pick the same things because it's just whatever. Like,
what team would you go to the NBA if you were a draft anyway, you go to the draft, your lottery picks.
Which team would you go in the NBA in the utopia? Don't try to complicate his words. Let's just go.
Which team?
Let's just go right here. I don't know.
Yeah, which team?
Any team you want.
Dallas.
Wow.
Dallas.
Yeah.
You're a Maverick. Can you explain a little bit why?
I like Texas. I like Dallas.
I love Dallas. Dallas is.
I like.
Dallas?
I've been to Dallas. Yes. I like Mark Cuban.
Okay, that's all really you got to say. That's 3 great points right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here becomes the most interesting part, because this one I have no damn clue. All right. So you're in Dallas. You have finished your rookie contract. This is a utopia, right? So you are the star player. You are the star player. You're the star player. You finish your rookie contract. Hear how this works. You're the star player on your team. You have enough tax where you could get 2 stars on your team. I'm gonna pick the rules. I'm gonna show you the rules. Your first person has to be within their first or second year in the NBA, right?
Okay.
Your second player can be third and after. Keeping it simple, right? Who are those 2 players? And you are on this lineup. You're playing. You're not the coach. You're not Mark Cuban. You're in the starting 5. Who would you pick?
Zion.
Yeah, Zion and who?
And then third year and over, I'm gonna go with KD.
KD.
Yeah.
Are you playing the 1 in this lineup?
Yeah.
Okay, and tell me a little bit why. Why KD? Why Zion?
Zion's unstoppable. Jumps over everybody. He's stronger than everybody. I mean, we'll work on that jumper. We'll be in the gym. I'll be in the gym with him. You feel me? We're in the gym working.
No doubt.
And then KD's just right now the best player on the planet. So that gives me the best chance to win a championship.
Let him finish his statement.
Yeah.
You start. I like that a lot. I could definitely see how those 2 complement your the way you play. So I appreciate that. Last question from me. You know, the NBA's on right now. Obviously, we only have 2 teams left, but if we're in the regular season, who are you turning on that TV for and saying, you know, I'm going to watch you today? Who do you still like to watch today?
The Nets.
Oh, just the Nets.
The Nets. I like watching Denver when Jamal's playing. Portland, obviously. Dame.
I mean, he's gone. So.
Yeah. But who
Came to
else?
Toronto. We'll welcome him with open arms.
I don't watch Toronto basketball. I'm gonna be honest. I've celebrated the championship. I was happy, but I was never really.
Of course you did. Everybody did.
Yeah.
So left him.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I have never really been a real fan. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you.
You know what, Kobe? I can accept that answer, but let me ask you a question. Are you one of those shit-talking non-Raptors fans, or are you like, whatever, I just don't care?
No, I just don't care. Like nothing they do really phases me because I like James Harden, so I just follow him.
Fair enough. And then you know what? We will welcome you to the Raptors parade anytime, anywhere. But it's those fake ass Raptors fans be like, Raptors are garbage. They want to be like, yay, go Raptors! When they're in the championship. Shut the fuck up.
Even this will be our last parade before we're 30. So, well, before me and Kobe are 30. All
right, I'm 30 next year, so let's not do that. But But anyway, I got to still experience 1. It's okay. But Kobe, you've been manifesting a lot in this podcast. Now we want to ask you something to manifest for us and help us with. Who is someone that you like to see on Talk Your Exposure? But here's the kicker, though. You have to help us get them on the show.
Damn, that's a good question. Yeah, I got some good questions. I like these questions. Has to be Canadian?
Could be anybody you want. Anybody that you think would have a good story that you could help us get connected with to have on the show.
Good story. Get my man's Jackson Rowe on the show.
Jackson Rowe.
You know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Played basketball at Cal State Fullerton. Plays overseas now in France. Went to high school with him at Wasatch. He's a Canadian.
Jackson. Oh, is he light skinned?
Yes.
He's
built afro.
Kind of curly afro a little bit.
Okay, yeah,
he's built though. He's built.
Yeah, he's really built.
I know.
He's long, and he's long too.
Yeah.
I know he does.
Yeah, super pause. But yeah,
Yo,
anyway, I
Steven,
meant like
bro. Steven.
Devontae, you have no say, bro. If I go back into the archives, right now,
Steven, bro.
I just meant long arms. Holy crap. My God. Anyways, I'm deleting this portion. I'm definitely going to edit this portion. Luckily,
you're not, bro. No,
I'm the
you're
one that does the editing part. I'm the one that does the editing part, so I'm editing.
You're not, bro. Conclude the show. Conclude the show, Steven, before it gets worse.
Hey, Kobe, where can we find you on social media?
Look, you got him dying down here on my screen. Fruit.
Oh, my God. Anyways, Kobe, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, y'all can find me, GodSecret_ on Instagram, Twitter @the_true11_. 1 spelled out, then the number 1 _. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
You know, more. That's all you need, to be honest with you. That's all you need, to be honest with you. You need 1 or 2 social handles, and that's it, to be honest. This social media game is starting to piss me off, too. If I didn't have a podcast, if I didn't have a youth basketball organization, I'm telling you right now, I'd be off social media. But anyways, it's a whole nother story for another day. Kobe, man, we wish you nothing but the best. You know, obviously, we want you to stay healthy and stay safe. We can't wait to see you this year at Weber State. You know, obviously, we're excited to be able to see what you have in store. And hopefully this could be the year you're going to make the NCAA tournament. You know, definitely want to wish that upon you and manifest that for you upon to you. And honestly, man, when you get back down to Canada, you know, definitely let's link up and get you in the gym and you know, see that workout you be talking about. So, Kobe, thank you again for your time, man. You know, we wish you nothing but the best, and we want to, you know, continue to watch your progress moving forward.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. This was fun. This was real fun. Appreciate it.